Hey guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so the judge, he was on a roll today. Let me tell you, he was on a roll today. When I say everybody goes to jail, left, right, and center, jail, 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 jail. The bailiff was like, "We don't have any more room back there." The judge was like, he just put his hands up. Okay, they're going to jail. Oh my goodness gracious. So the best thing he said all day I had in that little preview clip. And I have absolutely no idea what happens to a preview clip once I start going live. So it's only a couple seconds long. So I'm going to play it now only because this happens at the very, very, very end of a live. And this live is probably going to be a little long. Um, so you might miss it. You might not. Okay, when I look at my lives, like a lot of people start watching it, but by the time we get to the end, there's only like a handful of people left, just a small number of people. So I'm going to show what he says at the end for all you people who dip early, which is fine. Dip whenever you want to dip. And then we'll start the stream. Here we go.
Otherwise, I'd be lighting you up.
Thank you, Judge.
The other thing I want you to do is I want you to start going 3 times a week to NA classes. I don't care if it's online. I don't care if it's in person, but you must provide proof that you're attending AA classes with a sheet of paper signed by another individual that you have a sponsor that you're actually attending. If you don't do this, you will go to jail. Do you understand? One more thing.
Yes, sir.
I know that you want to go.
No.
I'm going to have you sign an affidavit promising me that you're not going to drive. And like I told you, if you drive, that's the absolute worst thing you can do. And I will sprout horns and a tail if you drive.
Yes, he will too. I believe it. I believe it. I'm very scared right now, guys. I'm glad he's really far away from me. Judge, relax. Relax. Just give her a PR bond like everybody else. Okay. All right. So, a little bit of housekeeping. Closed captions. Believe it or not, I finally figured it out. So now you'll be able to have closed captions on all the videos. Hi P. I know sometimes there's closed captions on my videos and sometimes there's not, and then I figured out why. If I start my stream a certain way, it automatically turns on. But if I start it a different way, I have to go in way down to this little check box and check it. Same with chat replay. Sometimes I have chat replay, sometimes I don't. I figured that out today too. So now, because I'm a professional, when this live is over and you guys watch it from the live, you'll have closed caption and you'll have chat replay. But right now, closed caption is only in English. So if you need it to be something else, I don't know how that works. But I will try. You just gotta let me know. So, real quick, we're just gonna fly over to California. Yes, yes, I'm a professional. We're gonna go to California real quick, and we're gonna see it. Nothing big happens. I just wanted to show you this new courtroom. It's only 2 minutes long, and guys, whatever you do when you watch this clip, nobody shout cage match. Just don't. It won't go well. No shouting cage match.
Reserve all rights and motions invoke his state and federal constitutional rights. Make an informal request for discovery. We're going to request statutory dates. We'll submit on the issue of bail. He is a sentence prisoner until June of next year.
Pre-trial will be on April 22nd. Preliminary hearings on April 24th. Both of these are in N3, which is in the North Justice Center. After review of his 28-page criminal conviction sheet, the court determines, based on the evidence presented, the criminal history of the defendant, and the nature of the charged offenses, the public and/or victim safety, and the defendant's appearance in court cannot be reasonably assured without the setting of bail, and that no non-financial, less restrictive conditions of pretrial release will achieve those
Chicken
goals.
coop.
Now, we had
he clearly doesn't have the funds.
Thunderdome.
I know, and that's why I was pausing, because you said just to submit, but I'm going to assume indigency based on the state prison sentence. The court would be inclined to reduce that down to $500,000. Do the people need to be heard?
No, thank you.
Now, once again, there was a 1381 demand that was filed. Unfortunately, he refused to come to court today, so the court sees that as his own waiver of his own demand to be brought to trial within that 1381 time frame. However, just so everyone knows.
Oh, Kelly, you did it. You definitely did it. So that's Orange County, California. Another cage that I found. But it's not just the cage that this courtroom, that I love. I love about this courtroom. It's it's how compact and cluttered this place is. I love it. It looks like one of their monitors is on two reams of paper, but it's perfectly level with the other one. So hey, it works. I love how cluttered this is. This is my type of courtroom. I don't know what green means. I don't know what pea green means, stink eye. I mean, the colors all mean something. Hi, Nays. Okay, yesterday we had a contempt of court in Colorado where a guy was arrested. And this morning they had his contempt of court hearing. I'm trying to watch chat and talk at the same time. I can't do that. I'm not that professional. I have to put my hand over it, cover it up. Our chat is the best, and it's very distracting. All right. So yesterday we had a contempt of court, and I got some comments about how unfair that was, um, because you can't just like he wasn't. She she tried to go into his device. He was guilty until proven innocent. You don't have to prove your innocence. They have to prove that you did something wrong. And I told everybody that's just not the whole story. And the reason why I didn't get the entire court proceeding, you'll see, is apparent. I would never record that court, never. Now I did record him because he was a special case. He wasn't the one. Um, the court case wasn't about him, it was about his son. And no, I would never record his son. I would never record anybody from that court. But he was just an observer, so he doesn't count. So we're going to find out. She's going to tell us more about why he was sent to jail yesterday. And I cut a part out because I had to, and we don't need that part. Here we go. So he's coming in that it's called a suicide smock, and he's coming in the suicide smock because he wasn't behaving last night in lockup. He wasn't. But I'm glad they have those suicide smocks are horrible. We all agree. It's. But before they had those, they came out in the 80s, the late 80s. Before they had them, if someone if they had an inkling someone was going to self-harm, they either stripped them naked so they couldn't have anything to hang themselves or anything. They couldn't have laces or buckles or anything they could use to harm themselves, so they stripped them completely naked, or they tied them down. And when they tied them down, they didn't tie them down to something with bedding because they could use that to, strangle themselves or whatever. So before the 80s, if someone was suicidal, then they were they were very uncomfortable in jail. So this nurse that was for in the jails, the nurse in the jails, she designed this suicide smock. So that's why they dress in those little dresses like that. If you didn't know, which you probably all did, but here we go. Yeah, white jacket. They also gave white jackets.
Morning. Court calls 24 CV 136. This was titled People of the State of Colorado versus Ethan Oberländer because Ethan Oberländer was the individual whose case was called yesterday, at which time the court held Mr. Oberländer, Joseph Oberländer, who is the father of Ethan Oberländer, in direct contempt of court. Mr. Crenning, yesterday we appointed you, and we're very grateful that you're able to be here this morning. Your client, Joseph Oberlander, is here in the courtroom as well, and he is in custody. And we're here for sentencing, but I'd like to make a record because yesterday I could not even think clearly with Mr. Oberlander, who's here in the courtroom, yelling continually in our courtroom so disruptively. So I'd like to clear up because I can't even tell you what made it on my record and what didn't yesterday. And then we'll move forward with the sentencing.
Yes. Good morning, Chief Judge. I'd like to introduce Bryce Carlson, an attorney from Loveland, a friend and colleague of mine, and he's agreed to assist on this case as well. I'm trying to talk him into taking some ADC work. So.
Excellent. Well, welcome and thank you for being here this morning. So yesterday morning is our competency court, and our competency court is a court that serves people who have an array of issues that lead them to not be able to understand court proceedings. And we find that the bulk of that population, they're people with severe persistent mental health issues, but we have people with cognitive decline, people who have dementia, people who have developmental disabilities, and all sorts of things that lead them to not be able to stand criminal proceedings. Those people all come to a Thursday morning docket, and Mr. Ethan Oberlander, the son of Joseph Oberlander, is on that docket. He has been deemed to be incompetent to proceed, and his case had been called on the record. Mr. Joseph Oberlander was attending court for Ethan. At which time, without invitation, though he's not a party, he decided to cross the bar and come forward. The court warned him that he may not cross the bar. He's not an attorney and he is not a party to the case, and asked that he go back behind the bar and not be standing right by counsel. And I will say that it was a little bit, I think, alarming for the attorney from the perspective of the court that someone randomly is coming forward like that, because Ethan was appearing virtually. And so Ethan was talking to the court essentially through the virtual courtroom. Mr. Joseph Oberlander was yelling in the courtroom. The court directed him to again go back behind the bar. He was not listening to the directions of the court. He had been warned multiple times, but was continuing to yell in the courtroom. He was even yelling at one point at the public defender who was defending Ethan. The court at that point directed him again to move behind the bar. Once he did, he proceeded to stand behind Ms. Lowry, who is the public defender assisting his son, and yelling over essentially the top of Ms. Lowry from where this court is sitting. When he was yelling over Ms. Lowry, the court had told him at one point he is in direct contempt of court because he's been warned multiple times, but that the court at that moment wasn't going to take action against him. And Ms. Lowry was standing at the podium, and the court had directed Ms. Lowry to just please try to make your record, even though Joseph Oberlander continued to be yelling in our courtroom. Ms. Lowry could not even to be honest with you, keep her record straight and be able to concentrate and focus. At one point, Joseph Oberlander was saying how he was trying to contact Ms. Lowry and she hasn't returned phone calls. Ms. Lowry is now turning and trying to answer a person who's really here to observe court and is disrupting the courtroom and couldn't even focus to represent Ethan at that time. Then the court redirected the attorney, please make any record you'd like to, tried to get the DA to make a record, tried to get Joseph Oberlander essentially out of the courtroom so we could move on. It was very difficult over multiple warnings, even after he was on the correct side of the bar, to get him to listen. And it was so disruptive because this court is serving the population I described to you before. So when someone is yelling and escalated, it is really disruptive to the rest of the people who are on that docket because this is a mental health oriented courtroom. And so at that time, we finished his case and he sat down. We finished Ethan's case. Joseph Oberlander sat in the front row of the courtroom. And Ms. Lowry went to try to go speak with Mr. Joseph Oberlander. He's again very loud, speaking so loudly, I would consider it borderline yelling in the courtroom. And the next individual is someone with developmental disabilities who's at the podium and cannot even focus on their case because Mr. Joseph Oberlander was so disruptive. At that time, the court had to ask that Mr. Joseph Oberlander be removed from the courtroom. We waited. We had to stop all of court proceedings until Joseph Oberlander packed his bags, finally complied with court orders. But on the way out, people who are here volunteering for the morning docket and who are here to observe their friends and family or victims of cases were all stopping to watch. And then Mr. Joseph Oberlander made some sort of comment towards some of the people who are here in observation and support of the docket that he has a recording of some sort, and exits the courtroom doors. The deputies kindly are following to make sure that we don't have any disruptions in our Justice Center unless they have explicit permission from the court to do so. Mr. Joseph Oberlander does not have that type of permission to make these types of recordings and has a history in our building of making recordings, has a history that has even unfortunately produced Judge Finley to have had recordings of his courtroom made that were turned into the district attorney's office. So Mr. Joseph Oberlander has a history of behaving this way in our Justice Center. The court directed the deputies to bring him back into the courtroom to see if there had been further issues regarding contempt at that point. I did not know that he had made comments essentially to people who were in the back of the courtroom about recording. I did not know any of these pieces at the time. Once I brought him back in, again, I had to stop the docket in order to be able to address Joseph Oberlander. And when he came forward, I did give him an opportunity, because he was in direct contempt, to show any mitigation that he had. He was trying to play an audio recording to say he had not recorded court. The audio recording was a conversation apparently between him and the Summit Stone Health partners. He started to play the audio, and the court said he could. The audio paused somehow on its own, and as he was trying to turn it back on, the court said, "It's unnecessary. I don't need to hear an audio recording between you and Summit Stone. I want to know if you've recorded court today." Then I gave him an opportunity if he wanted to present any other mitigation. I called deputies forward and asked if he wanted to show video or photos to show whether he had been recording or documenting anything else from the courtroom that he's not permitted to. He said that he did not want to present any additional mitigation, and he doesn't have to. But at that point, the contempt had lasted from this court's perspective for so long and disrupted our court proceedings so many times, especially given the nature of that docket, that the court held him in direct contempt and had him removed from the courtroom, appointed counsel, and reset him this morning for sentencing. And so we're here now for sentencing, Mr. Krenning. I just want to make sure, because this all unfolds in the middle of a pretty intense docket when we're trying to help keep things calm. You're familiar, you've been here, and maintain some sort of cool and calm for people who are struggling with their own mental health issues. So now we're here for sentencing on this contempt. Mr. Oberlander has had 1 night overnight in jail from the direct contempt. And the question is, what is appropriate sanction for the behaviors that have occurred? Mr. Krenning.
After the court asked me to represent Mr. Oberlander, I want to make a record that I went to the jail to see Mr. Oberlander yesterday. The jail was in a lockdown and I was unable to see him. I tried to contact him last night, and the jail was not comfortable in allowing him to leave a holding cell to talk to me on the telephone. But I did get here early with Mr. Carlson this morning, and I have had a chance to speak with him for about 30 minutes.
Do you need more time with him?
I don't. I'm familiar with what the direct contempt gravitates towards. Under Rule 107, of course, this hearing is simply for Mr. Oberlander to provide mitigation. And I've told him that he has an opportunity to talk, and I would like to share with the court my observations. It's quite clear that Mr. Oberlander and his family are suffering a great deal of trauma for a number of reasons. Some related to the proceedings with their son Ethan, and some related to other court disputes they find themselves engaged in. It is my assessment that Mr. Oberland regrets the way that yesterday unfolded, that Mr. Oberlander is remorseful and does understand the sanctity of the courtroom and the dignity that is deserved in a court setting, and particularly when comments are directed toward the bench and a judicial officer. In this case, that would be the chief judge. Of course, the court has the opportunity or the ability to sentence Mr. Oberlander to up to 180 days in jail for contempt, direct contempt, and or impose a fine. I'm going to ask the court to demur on its option of continuing to hold Mr. Oberlander in custody, although certainly there have to be consequences for disruptive behavior in the courtroom, which goes for attorneys and others. I mean, I understand that anybody in this courtroom standing at this podium or in front of the bar has an obligation to show respect and to maintain the dignity of the court. But understanding, at least from my understanding of Mr. Oberlander and his wife Natalie and the absolute crisis that it sounds like this family is in, holding him in jail longer would be more than punitive. It would be almost traumatizing beyond belief, I think, for Natalie and for Ethan. So it's not my place to put words in Mr. Oberlander's mouth. I guess it is my place to at least try to concise what I heard this morning from Mr. Oberlander and ask this court to not impose any more sanction than the overnight stay that he had. I do think that he understands the seriousness of what occurred, and hopefully it's been impressed upon him that it won't occur again. But
Mr. Krenning, your client has been held in contempt of court previously in front of Judge Finley.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar what the consequence of that was. I believe he was arrested, but I don't know how many days he served previously for that. Are you familiar with that?
if I'm correct, and Mr. Oberlander, you please correct me if I'm not, he spent a night in jail and then what's that?
2 nights.
2 nights, okay.
Your Honor, is it okay if I talk?
It's between you and your attorney,
Absolutely.
but you are welcome to address the court
Absolutely.
so long as you're respectful.
Sure. I'm a little bit distraught. I'm not sure what the building thinks about me as an individual, but I care a lot about people, and for a living, I defend people for a living that are getting taken advantage of. As a restoration contractor, it's very hard to get work approved for homeowners and businesses, and then so I have to do that for free, just so I can get paid for work that I can do in the future. And so for a living, I literally defend people in the hardest situations. And when I got held in contempt with Judge Finley, it's my wife's birthday. I was very mentally distraught that day. It's my wife's birthday. I shouldn't have had to been there. The other attorney said that she was fine moving the dates. And once I wasn't there, I was, I was hungry. I was a little bit out of my mind like I am right now. And I was eating peanuts because with my Crohn's disease, it's like I'll drink olive oil several times a day because I do food control instead of the pills or whatever. And so, I apologized to Judge Finley that day. I told him I'm just not mentally okay.
You are not here
I know,
for
yes.
resentencing on what happened with Judge Finley.
Yes, Your Honor.
But I want to say to you, when I know another judicial officer has had to hold you in contempt, which I have sat on this bench for almost 8 years, and I can count the number of times, I think you will be the 3rd time in 8 years I've had to hold someone in contempt. I have a great deal of patience because I know people are frustrated and dealing with difficult circumstances. When you have already been held in direct contempt by another judicial officer who does not have a temperament to hold people in direct contempt often, and you're back in my courtroom behaving like you did yesterday, disrupting the people that you allegedly care about in the community, I am questioning whether 2 nights taught you an appropriate lesson. You may proceed.
I understand, Your Honor.
No, you don't.
Please understand that I'm only in here trying to figure out how to protect my son. Like, we're only in here in your courtroom because the officers convinced me that by pressing charges on my adult age son that we could actually get him mental help. And I was just trying to bring to your attention that as desperate as we try to get help for my son, it's just not there. They don't communicate. They can't see the notes, and it's traumatizing. Like they're
Mr.
leaving my son in
Oberlander,
psychosis in my house. And I was just trying to bring that to your
I,
attention.
I have had a great deal of patience and empathy for your situation. Judge Shapansky was covering Ethan's case for the court at one point in time and nearly held you in contempt. You are disruptive each time you are involved in your son's case. It may be your desire to get your son help, but Summit Stone is trying to help your son, and quite frankly, you have been described as a barrier to being able to help Ethan, because instead of letting Ethan receive help, you are screaming and yelling at the professionals, much like what the court experienced yesterday morning in court. I say that to you not because it has anything to do with your contempt issue, but so that you understand a slew of people are trying to help Ethan, and you are considered a barrier because of your behaviors. Yesterday, I bore witness to it firsthand. It's not going to be part of why your sentence is going to be whatever it may be, but it's part of you understanding where you play a part in supporting Ethan or derailing the proceedings.
Yes, Your Honor. Please understand that I have a power of attorney so I could speak for my son, not represent him. I was just trying to bring some light to your attention of the struggles that are, because this Summit Stone is a ball of clay, right? And it's like a new thing you guys are doing, and it's just not working like it's supposed to yet. And I thought that all of us coming together and talking, maybe it'll keep my family from continuing to be so traumatized, because it's, as you can see, I mean, it's so hard to, I was just trying to speak for my son, and I told the attorney beforehand, Miss Lowery, that I had the power of attorney, and I just wanted to bring in a little bit of things to your attention, because I don't know that, because when my son's on there, you're telling him how helpful Summit Stone is to him. But he's not saying that. You're telling him that it is, and he's not getting the help. He's not properly medicated.
Thank you for reminding me. 2 weeks prior, your son had
Oh.
court in front of this courtroom, and he had a check-in. He was on virtual court. The court was speaking with Ethan. Ethan was answering questions for the court. You were off camera telling Ethan what to say to the court that was the opposite of Ethan's own thoughts and his own perspectives. Mr. Oberlander, you are routinely disruptive to the court, but yesterday was over the top. Sir, you are a part of the problem, period. Anything else you'd like to state? Otherwise, we're drawing to a close.
Yes, Your Honor. My family needs me, right? I'm sorry that you see me like,
I don't know about that.
what do you mean you don't?
I think you are a huge part of the problem, Mr. Oberlander.
In my family?
Correct?
I mean, I don't. Please let me go back to my family, Your Honor. I've been, I mean, do you see what I'm wearing? Please, I promise I know I will not do anything again, okay? My family will just leave, right? I mean, we need to be able to be a family. We haven't been able to be a family, right? So my son goes in psychosis. I have to be able to get, like, I have to be able to get the information to you guys, because my son can't, right? He can't make a plan for the next 10 minutes of his life.
Your son is more capable than you give him credit.
I know
Anything
that he is.
further
I'm not-
about your behavior yesterday?
Just my, understand my mental state was 100% trying to protect my family, and I was trying very hard I thought I was trying very hard to be very calm, and I definitely did not record, and I did show the officers my devices, and all I had was a piece of evidence that I wanted to show you, which was a heartbreaking call of me begging for help with Summit Stone. Is all it is.
All right. I accept that to be true. Mr. Cunning, anything further? All right, at this time, the court has established the facts of why the court held Mr. Oberlander in contempt. This behavior was extreme. Despite that, the court continued to warn to desist, and that was not happening. It was incredibly offensive to the authority and dignity of the court. Court has heard the mitigation, and the court has considered the history, particularly that not too long ago, Mr. Oberlander was held in contempt by Judge Finley. The court sentences Mr. Oberlander to 8 days in the Larimer County Detention Facility, with 1 day of credit since he was arrested yesterday. You will be released in 7 days. Mr. Oberlander, yesterday was a day of celebration for your son because he was finally attending Summit Stone, and he's doing much better than he was. Mr. Oberlander, you are the one who was derailing court yesterday, unfortunately, for your son and for everybody else in the courtroom. 7 more additional days, Mr. Cunning, and then he will be released. There will be no fine. Anything further?
Please, I can't eat the food in there. It kills my stomach. I cannot live in there. Please, Your Honor.
Would the court consider reconsideration on Monday? Or is the court?
There will be no reconsideration. This is an appropriate sentence. 2 overnights did not teach Mr. Oberlander not to behave this way in our courtrooms. This time, it will be 7 additional days for a total of 8. Next time, it will be even more. So that's where we're at. That is the order of the court. We're adjourned. Thank you.
Then he throws his nasty tissues that he used when he was crying right onto the floor, right onto the floor, and walks out. But so she's awesome. She's amazing, and her voice is soothing and so nice, and her earrings are always on point. But I will not probably get much more out of her court because it's just, we don't need that. We have plenty of other stuff. We don't need to see mentally challenged people. He wasn't one of the people. That's why I got him. He's not the mentally challenged one. It's his son. So, but she's really good. I like her. I like her a lot. Well, guys, it's time. It's time for the marathon. The rest of the stream is going to be all Fleischer. It's just all Fleischer. There's nothing else. And so y'all know I'm demonetized. Oh, sorry. Hi, Pie Steve. I'm demonetized right now because I didn't talk enough during my clips or whatever. It's you reuse. So I didn't add enough. But I don't want to talk a lot during this so that if other content creators want to use it, they can without me talking over it. When my voice was on Law Talk with Mike, I cringed so hard repeatedly. So the only way I can get around that is I'm going to have to pause every once in a while and say something and then go back. There's no other way I can do it. So people hate me pausing a clip, but I got to because YouTube already got me in jail. I don't want to be banned. Here we go. Let's just enjoy a whole bunch of Fleischer at his best today.
On April 6, 2024, officer clocked defendant going 45 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone in Harris County, Texas. Officer conducted a traffic stop and noticed slurred speech and red bloodshot eyes. Defendant showed poor balance when he stepped out of the vehicle, and officer detected an odor of alcohol. Defendant told officer he had a few beers at a restaurant. SFSTs were conducted 6 out of 6 HGN, 6 out of 8 walk and turn, 3 out of 4 one-leg stand. Officer saw an open 12-ounce Michelob in the right side passenger floorboard, still cold to the touch. Defendant was taken into custody and DIC was read. Defendant consented to breath and blew a 0.172 twice.
You should know that it's an absolute no-no to have alcohol in the car while you're driving. And I'm going to tell you, if it's alleged in the information that you have an open container, it's a minimum of 5 days in jail to any sentence that you do. It is further alleged presented that at the time the defendant committed the offense of operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated as herein above alleged committed on or about April 6, 2024, he had an open container of an alcohol beverage in the right second row seats floorboard of said motor vehicle. Minimum 5 days in jail. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol, any kind of dope, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. I'm also ordering you now, do you have a valid Texas driver license?
No.
You are not allowed to drive, Mr. Ballesteros, and I'm going to have you sign with me today an affidavit promising me that you're not going to drive. If you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive because I will hold you in contempt. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm ordering you now to obtain a handheld interlock device that you're going to take with you everywhere you go to prove to me that you're not consuming alcohol. If you fail to blow into the device as ordered, you will go to jail. The worst possible thing that you can do at this moment in time is drive, because you will assure yourself a lengthy jail sentence. I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care if someone has to go to the hospital. I don't care if there's starving kids that you need to feed that you have to go get. I don't care. If you want to drive, go get a license and liability insurance, and then we can talk. But until that time you drive, there's going to be hell to pay. You understand?
Yes, sir. And Judge, he's in the
Sorry?
He should be.
We'll see. Until that point, though, no driving. You have a week to get the interlock device. I'm going to have you go to up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. You'll get to Victoria. We're going to have you sign a reset, and then you'll get with Jeremiah for your bond conditions. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, Judge, page 11, Spanish speaker, last name Rico. Come on up. What's your name?
Good morning.
Gregorio Ayala. Nice to
Thank
meet
you for
you.
helping us.
I got
You, Edgar Rico,
Yeah, my name is Edgar.
you were charged with driving while intoxicated. First offense, it's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. You were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to you.
On April 4th, 2024, officers were dispatched in Harris County, Texas, to a vehicle stopped in the roadway. Officer met with witness who stated that she observed defendant to be asleep at the wheel and was blocking her driveway when she was trying to leave. Witness stated that defendant woke up and began driving up on the curb line before swerving back across the roadway. Officer met with defendant who stated that he consumed 2 beers. SFSTs were conducted, 6 out of 6 HGN, 6 out of 8 walk and turn, 2 out of 4 one-leg stand. Officer read defendant DIC 24 in Spanish, and he provided a breath specimen, 0.22 and 0.21.
Mr. Rico, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward in your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication? Are you a citizen of the United States? Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
No, mi ID quedó aquí en la.
I don't.
No, I have an ID.
I don't care if you have an ID. My question is if you have a Texas driver license.
No, I don't.
Then you are not allowed to drive. That is also a condition of your bond, and I'm going to have you sign with me today a promise that you're not going to drive. I don't care what your excuse is. If you drive, you will go to jail. I will have a contempt hearing. You will be facing an additional 6 months and a $500 fine every time you drive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I see that you have a lawyer.
That's right.
As you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance.
Yes.
It is up to you to stay in contact with your lawyer. If your lawyer comes back to me and tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. No,
Si no viene mi abogado. Si el abogado dice que no puede preso contigo.
Okay, sí.
Yes, sir.
understand. I will waive your appearance, but you must stay in contact with your lawyer.
Okay, yeah.
For now, I will have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. You will get to Victoria where you will sign a reset. After that, you'll get with Jeremiah for your bond conditions, and then you're welcome to wait for your lawyer and back.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Judge, page 15, another Spanish speaker, last name Villanueva. Page 15, 16.
Thanks. Oswaldo Villanueva.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Villanueva, you're charged with 2 cases. Driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're also charged with assault, bodily injury. On both cases, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
On April 5th, 2024, officer arrived on scene and were advised defendant had crashed into complaining witness's vehicle and fled the scene. Defendant was chased down by witness and cornered. Officer detained defendant. Officer spoke with witness who stated that he was driving. Traffic was bumper to bumper and defendant rear-ended the complaining witness's vehicle, which then rear-ended his vehicle, causing an accident in front of witness's car. Once they pulled over, complaining witness got angry at defendant, and defendant became aggressive and struck the complaining witness with a closed fist and complaining witness's ribs. Defendant then fled the scene. Damage to complaining witness's vehicle is $5,000. Officer met with defendant and noticed glossy eyes. Officer conducted SFS tests. 6 out of 6 HGN. 4 out of 8 walk and turn. 4 out of 8 walk and turn. 4 out of 4 one leg stand. Defendant consented to breath test. 0.147 and 0.153. He does have a prior. DW.
Yep. Mr. Villanueva, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with all of your cases. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
No.
You will sign an affidavit. This is a promise you're going to make to me today that you're not going to drive. I don't give a rat's behind what your excuse is for driving. If you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You will be facing an additional 6 months in jail every time you drive. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to put a scram ankle monitor on you so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. And if I find that you do, you will go to jail. And if I have to revoke your bond, you're probably going to end up with a $15,000 bond set. If you have no one to post that kind of money for you, you will be stuck in jail until this case is over with.
I understand.
I'm ordering you not to be in possession of any weapons, no contact with the complaining witness as well. What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living?
Construction, Your Honor.
How much money do you make a month?
Exactly, Your Honor. It's a different work.
How much money do you make a month?
About 2,400.
Who do you live with?
My sister, Your Honor.
Are you married? Do you have any kids?
I got 2 children and I'm not married.
How many kids?
2 children.
Do you have custody of those kids or are they elsewhere?
I live with my wife.
Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, sir?
¿Quieres un abogado? ¿Quieres un abogado sin costo para ti? I'll get one, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. Mr. Villanueva, the worst thing you could possibly do in life right now is get in a car and drive. I'm going to absolutely light you up if you get into a car and drive. There will be absolute carnage. You understand? I'm going to have you sign this promise. You'll get to Victoria. We're going to have you sign a reset, and then you'll get to Jeremiah for your bond conditions, and then you're free to go.
Carolyn, stuck like Chuck is one of his sayings. Fleischer likes to say that. You're going to be stuck like Chuck if he puts him in jail. Oh, man. He's so good.
And the speaker, page 1, Anderson.
Mr. Simpson. What is your name, ma'am?
Page 1, Anderson.
Okay, sorry. Deja Anderson. Ms. Anderson, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
On April 4th, 2024, officers were dispatched to Macy's at the Galleria in Harris County, Texas. Officer met with complaining witness who stated that he observed on live surveillance video the defendant began selecting merchandise and concealing them in her shopping bags. Complaining witness stated that he observed defendant walk past all points of sale and exit into the Galleria Mall with stolen merchandise. Complaining witness confronted defendant about it. Merchandise was recovered, total value of $597.25.
Got it. All right, Ms. Anderson, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm now ordering you not to go to any Macy's whatsoever and not to go to the Houston Galleria. Do you understand? If you violate these conditions, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. What do you do for a living, man? Or how old are you? You're 20? What do you do for a living? Which restaurant and how much money do you make a month?
I work at Butterfly Kitchens.
So you're not working or you're working? How are you supporting yourself now? Okay. Did you want to apply for a court-appointed lawyer, man? Your other option is you can go hire one. So those are the two options you have. What would you like? Hire one. Okay, so we'll appoint you one today. I need you to fill out an application though. Deputy Simpson will give you one. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Otherwise I will issue a warrant. Okay? Okay.
Judge, page 2. Andrade, Jose. It's just like, go ahead and sign for your receipt.
Who was the last guy?
Jose Luis Bellman Andrade? They gave you a PR bond? That's cute. That's cute. Your case is 2,436 days old, your first DWI. We've given you you've had 3 surety bonds, you've had 2 PR bonds, and while you're out on the lam for this case, you pick up another DWI. And you and someone in the right mind sought fit to give you a PR bond, 2 PR bonds? They must live in outer space, whoever did this. Let's do first probable cause, and then we'll go from there. You're now stand charged with another DWI. We're going to do probable cause. You're facing yet another 6 months. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you. Please.
On April 5th, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, deputy was dispatched to a suspicious vehicle call at Whataburger. Upon arrival, officer observed defendant in the driver's seat asleep with his foot on the wheel and the vehicle in drive. Deputy placed the vehicle in park and took the keys out of the ignition. Upon defendant waking up, deputy observed defendant to have strong odor of alcoholic beverage, a heavy, thick tongue, slow, slurred speech, drooping eyelids, and unsteady gait. Defendant refused SFSTs. DIC was read and defendant refused. Blood warrant was signed and executed. During vehicle inventory search, deputy located a 12-ounce Modelo beer unopened.
I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case, Mr. Andrade, and I am now going to revoke your PR bond, and you will stay with me in custody.
Put your hands behind your back.
And I'll appoint you another lawyer today, and we'll see where we're gonna go. But you know what, Mr. Andrade, Stephen, you signed an affidavit promising me that you were not gonna drive. So I am now going to have a contempt hearing, and if they prove to me that you drove, you'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail right now. So we need to do that, please. Thank you. Don't send them down, please. Enrique.
Yes.
Hey, buddy.
Morning.
Rico,
On your docket this morning.
Yeah.
I think you need to do PC or something.
we just did it.
Why didn't you do something wrong with the pen?
You can do it again if you want.
Yeah, let's do that again.
Okay, do you mind reading it? What's your client's name again?
Rico.
It's Rico. We had a translator here and it's hard to get him, so go ahead, please.
You know how it is, you know, clients are expecting their lawyer and then,
Okay,
and they
you
have
can do
to
it.
approach without their lawyer. It's kind of scary, especially the retired one.
On April 4th, 2024, officers were dispatched in Harris County, Texas to a vehicle stopped in the roadway. Officer met with witness who stated that she observed defendant to be asleep at the wheel and blocking her driveway when she was trying to leave. Witness stated that defendant woke up and began driving up on the curb line before swerving back across the roadway. Officer met with defendant who stated that he consumed 2 beers. SFSTs were conducted, 6 out of 6 HGN, 6 out of 8 walk and turn, 2 out of 4 one-leg stand. Officer read defendant DIC 24 in Spanish, and he provided a breath specimen, 0.22 and 0.21.
We just told him no alcohol, no drugs. And then because he doesn't have a license, no driving. That's it. So whatever date you'd like, you can have. We'll set you like 2 months out and then we'll waive his appearance. So,
Right.
Thanks.
Can he step down from here?
For sure. You ready?
You ready for the next one?
Yeah.
4, Ibrahim Malik.
Are you Malik Ibrahim? Mr. Ibrahim, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions or interviews. If you cannot afford a lawyer, the lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
On April 6, 2024 in Harris County, Texas, the officer was dispatched to a family disturbance call. Officer met with complaining witness and defendant are in a dating relationship. Defendant had been drinking. Complaining witness and defendant got into a verbal argument. Complaining witness accidentally closed defendant's hand in a door, immediately apologized and said it was an accident. Defendant then pushed complaining witness away. Defendant pushed complaining witness multiple times in the face, causing pain. Officer noted complaining witness had a black eye, scratches on her face, and scratches on her ear. Officer noted defendant had no injuries.
You didn't say anything about pain. All we have is a push, right?
No, defendant pushed complaining witness multiple times, punched complaining witness.
Oh, I didn't hear. Did you say
multiple times in the face,
punch?
causing pain, yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear, or maybe I missed that.
Pushed and then punched.
All right, Mr. Ibrahim, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or dope, you will go to jail. You understand?
That's right.
Do we know if she wants to have contact with him?
We haven't read the complaint yet, Your Honor, so we would ask for no contact at this time.
Until I know that she wants to have contact with you, I'm going to order you not to have any contact with her. I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of any weapons as well. Mr. Ibrahim, a protective order was issued on April 7th. I suggest you get to know it. If you do something to violate that court order, the state can and will file an additional case against you, a violation of a protective order. That's one of the worst cases you can pick up. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'll have you take a seat in the jury box. I'll get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then we'll let you go. When you come back, please have a lawyer, sir.
Sorry, my lawyer is supposed to be here with me today.
Who do you have? Who is it? You know?
J. Elma, Mr. J. Elma.
Who's it?
Elaine J. Elma.
I see it. Oh, you know what? I just noticed. So let's do this. I'll have you just sign a reset and let's have you wait while we hopefully the lawyer will come here soon. I'm sure that they will. The lawyers are notoriously late and we start kind of early. Okay. Well, so for now, we'll just have you sign a reset. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box, but don't leave until you sign our bond conditions.
Page 4, Farah Hamad. Go ahead and touch yourself.
Okay, I have to talk now. There we go. Good.
Judge, he speaks Farsi, but he has someone here with him, so I didn't know if you wanted to attempt that.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, what was the last name again?
Bottom of page 4.
Farah, F-A-R. You got it? Okay.
Yes.
This is the gentleman that you came in.
That's okay. Good morning, sir. What is your name?
Muhammad Ibrahim, sir.
You're fluent in Farsi?
Yes, sir. I'm fluent in Farsi, but I might not be exactly good with the court.
We'll go slow.
What is Farsi, guys? Where is that?
Okay, so would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to translate word for word everything that transpires now so that we can give him a proper probable cause hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So for now, what we're going to do is I'm going to tell him what's going on. If you can just please translate, okay?
Yes, sir.
You are Faramand.
Yes.
You were charged with harassment.
شما با تهدید متهم شدین. بله.
You were facing up to 6 months in jail.
دیگه میتونه که تا 6 ماه حبس یا زندان داشته باشین.
And or a $2,000 fine.
یا $2,000 جریمه بدین به واسطه.
We are going to do probable cause. We are going to do probable cause.
ما میخوایم که یک دلیل بهتری برای شما پیدا کنیم.
I want to find out what happened.
دیگه ما میخوایم بفهمیم که چی کار شده بود.
And if there is enough to pursue the case.
اگر دلیل قانع کننده پیدا کنیم باز ادامه بدیم محکمه.
You have the right to remain silent.
حق دارین که آرام بشینین، هیچ گپی نگوین.
Anything you say can and will be used against you.
هر چیزی که میگین ممکنه بر علیه شما استفاده شود.
بله. You have the right to have an attorney.
حق دارین که یک وکیل برای خود بگیرین.
If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
اگر شما نمیتونین وکیل بگیرید ما میتونیم این کارو برای شما.
من که نمیتونم این کار را انجام بدم. شما اینجا نه کسی رو دارم نه کسی رو میشناسم، زبونم بلد نیستم. الان نذاشتن آب بیارم بخیر دهنم خوش شد. بعد
خب یکی که من بگم
بله.
He said he's new to the country, he doesn't know the language, and definitely he doesn't have money to pay for the attorney.
We'll get there. Let's find out what happened first.
اول پیدا کنیم چی کار شده.
ولی برای تهدیدم من تهدید نکردم، فقط عصبانی بودم، تو خونه دور زدم، هیچ کاری دیگه نکردم.
I didn't do the harassment.
We're not going to talk about the case now.
مگه حال ما درباره قضیه شما گپ نمیزنیم. خوبه؟
I want to find out what happened.
ما میخوایم بفهمیم چی کار شده.
Okay.
On April 3rd, 2024, officers were dispatched to a suicide call.
میگه که در اپریل 2023 اپریل 2024 یک افسر رفت راپور آمد که یک نفر احتمال خودکشی را داره.
بله.
In Harris County, Texas, officers arrived and met with defendant.
در ساحه هریس کانتی بود، افسر آمد و همو شما را در جای منطقه شما را دید.
Officers were able to learn from complaining witness that defendant was depressed.
افسر اونجا آمد و متوجه شد که شما مکمل بسیار ناراحت هستین و دپرس هستین.
Officers reached out to complaining witness, who is the wife married for 24 years.
میگه من افسر رفت و خانم شما و همو دختر شما را دید.
Complaining witness stated that she left due to the threats that defendant was making towards her for the past 2 months.
و همو نفر شاکی شما وقتی با اون صحبت کردن که در 2 ماه اخیر شما تهدید به مرگ کردین اونا را.
Complaining witness stated that defendant stated to her he wouldn't just kill himself, but would kill her too, and then kill their children with a knife.
اونا همه نفر شاکی ادعا کرده که شما اول میخواستید خود بکشین، بعد از 2 نفر دیگر خانم خدا و بعد از همچنین طفل خدا بچه خدا.
Complaining witness stated that defendant had made a similar threat about 10 times within the last 2 months.
و همین نفری که شکایت کرده شاکی هسته این گفته که در 2 ماه اخیر 10 دفعه شما این کار کردین.
Complaining witness states that defendant wakes up at 2 a.m. and goes to the kitchen staring at the knives, just breathing heavily.
مگه اوناش اینا گفتن که ساعت 2 بجه صبح نصف شب رفتین طرف آشپزخانه و طرف چاقوها نگاه کردین یا چاقو رو دیدین با نفس عمیق هم میکشیدین.
من
Mr. Faramand, listen, I'm going to find probable cause.
مگه ما پیدا میکنیم که دلیلش چی بوده.
I'm asking you not to have contact with this person anymore.
مگه ما از شما میخوایم که دیگه با اونا هیچ گونه ارتباطی نداشته باشین.
I'm also asking you not to be in possession of any weapons.
و میخوایم که هیچ سلاح درخواست هیچ گونه سلاحی نداشته باشین. سلاح برای خود نگیرید.
These are your court orders.
این دستور محکمه است، دستور دادگاه.
You understand?
فهمیدین؟ بله. Yes.
I will give you a lawyer today.
امروز برای شما یک وکیلم میدم.
As long as you can abide by these conditions, good things will happen.
He can't.
گمی سه شرط شما مراعات کنین، چیزای خوب برای شما اتفاق میفته. سه؟
بله.
Yes.
If you violate these conditions,
اگه سه شرطی که گفت، دو شرطی که گفت اینا رو مراعات نکردین،
I will put you in jail.
شما رو در زندان میندازم.
بله.
I don't want to have to do that.
اگه من نمیخوایم این کارو بکنم.
But I really mean business.
مگه واقعا ولی اگر این کار از اینا تخطی کردیم دیگه جدی است وقت زندان میریم.
I'm issuing a protective order
یک دستور میدم برای چیز
that identifies Mahtab Alipur as a protected individual.
که مهتاب علیپور اینا در امن باشه.
بله من میتونم حرف بزنم.
Yes sir. And he says can I speak to her or no?
Let me finish and then I will give you the
Can I
opportunity.
speak to her? That's his question.
You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person.
شما دیگر نمیتونید برخلاف خانواده خود هیچ گونه تهدید را انجام بدید.
بله.
You cannot commit an act in furtherance
دیگه هیچ گونه اکت و عملی که بخواد تهدید آمیز باشه نباید انجام بدید.
42.072
42.02
which is the stalking statute.
که نگاه کردن what's that sir stalking statute?
Stalking.
Okay.
Harass.
Okay, harass. که همون تهدید باشه. یعنی هیچ گونه تهدید هم شما نمیتونن.
You cannot follow her.
حتی نمیتونن رو تعقیب کنن.
Threaten.
تهدید کنن رو.
بله.
Communicate a threat or use another person to communicate a threat.
و ارتباط دیگه از یک نفر دیگه استفاده کنن که او رو تهدید کنن هم نمیتونن داشته باشن.
بله.
Yes.
This also comes with a residential restriction.
این باعث حتی محدودیت زندگی شامل از آن میشه، یعنی شما نمیتونید در محدودیت از زندگی کنید.
You cannot go within 200 feet of 3400 OC Street.
در OC استریت از 200 فیت مانده در ساحه OC استریت هم شما نمیتونید زندگی کنید.
No weapons.
دیگه سلام حق ندارین داشته باشین.
بله اینا رو که نمیتونم الان حرف بزنم.
نه.
Okay, what is this question?
حالا میگه سوال کنید.
بله من اینا رو میدونم، ما اومدیم اینجا یه خورده برامون سخته، من ناراحتم شدم ولی دلیل به این نبوده که من تهدید کنم.
I were new here and I was a kind of PTSD like coming as a refugee, so I didn't want to do any treatment or anything.
What I would like you to do,
چیزی که من شما میخوایم اینه که
speak to a lawyer today.
امروز با یک وکیل صحبت کنید. خوبه؟
I'm going to give you a lawyer today.
امروز ما برای شما وکیل میدم.
You can speak to him or her about the issue.
شما با همو وکیل خود صحبت کنین.
And they will work with the district attorney.
مگه اونا باز میتونه با ما صحبت. قضیه نگاب ندارن. درسته؟
بله من
Yes sir.
I just
بگم.
What did he say?
Can I have you say بخور؟
من زن بچه‌مو خیلی دوست دارم. کی میتونم به اونا برسم؟
فعلا he says that I love my kids and my wife when I can see him or can see them.
When I know that she wants to have contact with you.
مگه هر زمانی که خود خانم شما بخواد که با شما ارتباط بگیره.
اون زمان میشه.
I will have the district attorneys reach out to her to speak to her.
مگه ما همه وکیل این منطقه را گپ میزنیم که اونا هم با اونا صحبت کنن.
This is only for Miss Alipur.
این فقط برای خانم علیپوره.
This doesn't affect your children.
این با بچه‌های خود میتونه هر وقت صحبت کنه.
You can still have contact with your children.
میتونن با بچه‌های خود هر وقت بخواید صحبت کنه زنگ بزنید.
بله ولی الان زنگ میزنم بچه کسی جواب نمیده این چجوری میشه؟
دیگه مشکل نیست. Right now when he's trying to call with his children they're not answering so
That's on them.
دیگه مشکل از اوناست من کار ندارم.
I can't force them to answer.
مگه این من اینا رو مجبور کردن نمیتونم تا جواب بدم.
But time heals all wounds.
مگه زمان که بگذره تمام زخم‌ها بدی‌ها جور میشه. مشکلات.
Give it a little bit of time and don't call them 15,000 times.
مگه برایشان وقت بدین فرصت بدین صدها دفعه برای پشت سر هم زنگ نزنید.
Okay?
بله من این کارو میکنم فقط میخوام در آینده بزنه بچه‌م برسه من برام خیلی سخته با این مرز نمیتونم زندگی کنم.
Says it's really hard for me to live by myself so I want to rejoin with my family.
I with the wife not right now.
He is not ever going to comply with this, and he threatened the kids too. So yeah, Steve, you're right. No contact with them. I mean, I don't know why he did that, but Judge, we still love you very much.
با خانم خود اجازه رو ندارن خودتون گفتین فعلا.
بله.
نه میگم در آینده حالا باشه بعدن.
میگم در آینده.
Yeah, in future.
Right. So we're done for now.
Yes, مگه خلاص شد درسته؟
So I'm going to have you. Will you file all the appropriate documents, please? Yes. Okay. For now, I'm going to have him sign a reset.
برای فعلا حالا یک شهادت امضا میکنین تصدیق.
And then we'll have him take a seat with you and back. Okay, but tell him not to leave until he meets with the lawyer.
مگه با ما اینجا میشیننده و پشت سر تا یک وکیل بیه و وقت اینجا ترک.
And also not to leave before he signs these court documents.
پیش از اینکه او مو سند محکمه را امضا کرده نم اینجا ترک نکنه.
بله.
Yes.
Okay, please.
Page 6, green. Green. Melissa, you want them now?
Yeah, I got it. Go ahead and sign it. Got it. Thank you.
Come up, Mr. Green.
Page 6.
Take a seat for me in the jury box. I'm not ready to deal with it yet. Let's just go on.
Oh, you're in trouble.
11, Booker. 11 and 12.
Please in the jury box, Your Honor.
And Sonia.
Hi, son. Do you mind coming up? Mr. Rooker, you were on bond for an assault family member case and you picked up a new case. You picked up a violation of a protective order. You're facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
On April 7, 2024, officers were present at a scene while EMS rendered aid to defendant. Officer noted that there was a firearm approximately 10 feet from defendant. Next to the gun was a bag of marijuana, synthetic marijuana, and an extended clip magazine. Officer met the complaining witness. Complaining witness and defendant are in a dating relationship and live together. Complaining witness said that when she woke up in the morning, defendant was on the ground unresponsive. Complaining witness called 911. Complaining witness told officer that the gun and drugs belonged to defendant. Officer noted that defendant had a MOAP, which barred defendant from having a firearm. It also barred defendant from going within 200 feet of complaining witness's residence.
I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case, Mr. Rooker, because you picked up a new case. I'm now revoking your bond on your assault. You'll be staying with me. Goes with you, please.
Put your hands behind that.
I would like to, I understand probable cause, but would you,
No, he's got a gun, he's got marijuana and synthetic marijuana. No, and it's not fair to everybody else that I do, you know? I do this to every single other person. It's just not fair.
My weapon.
Okay, please, it goes with you. Jamrinian Sias? Your Messias, you are now charged with yet another theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, ma'am. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. You cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, ma'am.
On April 5th, officers were dispatched to a parking lot of Bath and Body Works in reference to a shoplifting case. Any witness on the phone stated that two females entered the store Carter's and concealed merchandise in a black tote bag. Females made no attempt to purchase the items and fled the store, getting into a white Nissan. They then drove 50 yards west and parked in front of Bath and Body Works. Officer made contact with the vehicle and observed in plain view the stolen clothes from Carter's, total of $192.
The prior theft, where was it from?
Nordstrom Rack.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward on you. This new case, I am now revoking your bond on your old case, and I'm taking you into custody.
There's somebody on the elevator.
Hey, Kenneth.
Yes.
Hey, dude.
Yes, sir.
What's going on with you?
Yes, I have Miss Tamia Harris on the docket today.
What was the last name?
Harris.
24 and 25.
Miss, yeah,
It
Miss
sounds like
Harris.
she's admitted in the case.
On the last case. Yes.
I'm revoking all these bonds too. No.
Yeah, she had new cases in that court. It's not. She was not on bond for anything in that court.
She was out on bond for a theft, Kenneth. While on bond for a theft, she picked up a robbery. And then while on bond for both of those, she's now picked up a theft and a failure to ID.
Yeah, she made the bonds already for those cases. But the felony court revoked her bond, judge and Warren. So she made the bonds. They already been revoked, and she made the bonds already. And that she was supposed to come to court to get bond conditions, and then they revoked her bond in the felony court. So that's why she's in jail now.
Hey, Pavel, Harris. So she was on bond for our theft, right? Then she picks up a robbery, and then she picks up two new cases, right?
Yeah.
It's not all simultaneous. It's just one after the other. She gets out on bond, she picks up a new case.
Correct. So on February 26th of 2024 was the first theft. That's actually in court 11 right now. But
oh, what?
So they're on a court 11 bond, and then
maybe we can transfer these to court 11 then.
You have to, but
let's see.
For the purposes of,
Weird.
Provoking, she was on bond that, but she's showing a warrant on the robbery.
Right. Okay, so that one, is that a 2B, I guess?
I think so, because it just shows warrant to me, so she wasn't on bond for that. She was only on bond for that.
You know what, the thing though is that because they're co-defendants and she had the first theft case, were they co-defendants in the first theft case too? That's why it might attract here.
She doesn't have a defendant on the first theft case, Your Honor. The second theft case.
The second theft case was with the one I just put in custody, Saya?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenneth, it may go to court 11. Let me see.
Okay, Yana, I have her set for Judge Warren on Wednesday to address that bond issue there. She had bonded out on all those cases, and Judge Warren issued a warrant for her, and that's why she's in custody.
Victoria, does Harris not get transferred to court 11?
No, I already inquired about that. This is a co-defendant with previous history.
Okay, so we need to get them to transfer that to us.
They said they're already not very.
Okay, so Kenneth, we are gonna keep it.
Okay.
And you want to put it on for Wednesday?
Well, that's what she got felony court, so maybe, yeah, felony court is on Wednesday. So I guess, can we do it, whatever, because she can't be in two places at one time. I don't know, it's up to you, Judge.
Okay, let me, can you tell what happened in the robbery, please?
Yeah, Your Honor, the robbery is really nothing. I think she should be, that case should be dismissed. The girl she was with stole something out of the dollar store. She came outside, the woman in the store came outside following her and busted the windows on my client's car. And my client got the car and hit the woman. She didn't steal nothing or anything. So it didn't even charge the person who actually stole something with theft. So it's not like a robbery, but it really ain't, because she never stole anything. The woman busted the window on the cars. She got the car and hit the woman who broke the windows on her car.
Oh,
so we getting the videos for that and everything in felony court. So I really think that kid's gonna be dismissed.
Judge, for PC purposes, the PC is LPO of a Dollar General saw the defendant shoplifting, confronted her when she left all points of sale and was punched, and then she left.
The date on that is, so is that true 3/10?
It's March 9th was the date of offense, but March 10th was the date of filing.
Okay, so Kenneth, I'm gonna revoke the bond on the first theft case, okay?
Okay.
And then if you want me to put it on.
Well, can you put it on the same day on Wednesday?
No, because she's in custody now.
Yeah.
So I can put it, you want me to put it the day after? That would be the 19th, Friday?
No, y'all have to go to court in Dallas on the 19th, in Collin County, so that's why.
Okay, you want the 17th?
What day is that?
Wednesday.
Yeah, that's when she got the felony too, yeah.
Okay. Well, for Harris, yeah. Wednesday, 17th. Okay, we'll see you then.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, man. I know. Okay, let me.
Order that you want I need a date so I can be able to send it and get it off.
Got it. Okay. Anna.
May I approach Judge?
Hi, yes.
I'm here on David Wynn. Can I have the cause number if you need it? It's-
No, I don't need it. I know who he is.
So he went over to the Harris Center in person to make the appointment yesterday. The contract the mental health contract has been misplaced. And so we just need to re-execute it. I do have a letter from the Harris Center that he did go over there.
Did you get an appointment?
He needs the contract to make the appointment.
Okay, let's set it for Monday, I guess.
Okay.
Aren't we set for Monday as it is?
Yes, but I just wanted to give you an update that
Okay.
we are working and I just need him, Mr. Petrov is gonna let him sign it electronically, so as soon as he sends it back. Okay?
It's like you're really earning your.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Judge, we have another arraignment,
Okay,
page 8, Mathis.
how many more do we have?
That was it, that one just came.
Oh, she just appeared. So is this the last one?
For now,
Right, okay. Ms. Mathis, you are charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, ma'am.
On April 5th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a major crash. The impaired defendant caused a 5-car major crash. Witness stated she observed the defendant passed out behind the wheel of her vehicle with multiple airbags deployed. Defendant was unable to maintain focus, balance, or even hold a conversation. Defendant was unable to control her eye movement, where at times her eyes slowly wandered towards her nose and oftentimes away from each other, as if she could not get a clear image of whatever she was looking at. The defendant's speech was also so slurred, it was hard to decipher her verbiage. Defendant was unable to blow into an intoxilizer and was falling asleep while blowing and could not hold herself up. DRV believed the defendant to be under the influence of narcotic analgesic and was unable to operate a vehicle safely. Defendant admitted to taking 3 hydrocodone pills that day. Blood was drawn and warrant was signed.
Ms. Mathis, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to drive at all for any reason. I'm going to have you sign with me today an affidavit promising me that you're not going to drive. If you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get in a car and drive. Do you understand? On one ankle, I'm going to give you a GPS monitor so you're not out in the middle of the night. 9 p.m. is your curfew to 6 a.m. On your other ankle, I'm going to put a scram monitor so I know that you're not consuming alcohol, and I'm going to test you every week to determine whether you're using any kind of pills. And if I find that you're using unprescribed controlled medication, I will put you in jail, and then I'm going to put you in a rehab facility. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
there's a bond violation.
How can there be a bond violation? This is a first setting, right?
Yeah, because the magistrate gave her the interlock and she could get it.
Oh, okay, well, then she goes with you then. Yeah, I mean, you were ordered by the magistrate to obtain an interlock. You didn't get it.
I thought she showed up today.
Jeremiah, what day was she supposed to have it?
She got the conditions on the 7th, she was supposed to have it by the 9th.
I don't see it.
It's in pending. It should be in pending.
Sure? Yes.
Yeah.
What's the case number?
No, I see the bond violation, but I don't see the actual condition though.
You click on images,
Huh?
it's right under where the personal bond is right under there.
Yeah, I pulled it up. Where are you looking specifically?
Like, where you talking about where the process is at?
Yeah. I see that it says, oh, right, okay, I see. It says here, and you sign these conditions, defendant shall have the device installed on the vehicle owned or most regularly driven by the defendant within 2 calendar days of the defendant's release on bond. I'm sorry?
They told me that I was supposed to show up today.
She goes with you, and then let's appoint her someone, and then she can talk to the lawyers. He's lucky no one is, I mean, 5 cars in an accident. Lucky no one's dead. I see it. It was dismissed. I saw that. She had a prior DWI with a child.
Yes. Dismissed.
Was that due to plea on something else? She had an ag rob and a forgery. It looks like there was or you help them first. It's not really. Help them first. Hi, come on up.
Hi, good morning, Judge. Member?
Yes.
I have Flores Cuellar. He's on a PTI violation today.
Oh, great. Is he here?
He's here, Judge. I tried getting him a time served offer. State agreed to it.
There's no prior, is it?
There's no priors, Judge.
Okay.
I was hoping I could actually talk outside the presence of it with you and the state. There seems to be a little bit of an issue going on.
Right there?
Yeah.
You gonna what? Take your foot out the chair. Take your foot out the chair.
Yeah.
Did he curse at you?
Yeah, you say you want to go to bed too. What's your name, man?
Is that Flores Cuellar? It's been one of those Fridays.
What's your name?
Hey, Simpson. So that's your client, right?
Yes.
I'm going to bring him up to talk to him. Okay. Mr. Flores Cuellar, come up, please.
Judge, he doesn't want to take the time served. He'd rather do 1 year in custody. He's talking to the mom. There seems to be some mental health issues. He's taking medication for it. He doesn't have the medication. That's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So you were on this I guess this diversion program, and they've now, I guess it just didn't work out because of the violations. We need to figure out what to do. They've offered you time served, meaning that if you just accept the responsibility, you walk out of here today and we're done today.
I don't understand what you mean. Accept the responsibility.
Meaning plead guilty. The DWI. You're charged with 2 cases, Mr. Flores Cuellar. You're
Yes, I was
charged.
drunk and I was like off that, like pills.
Sorry?
I was drunk and I was off pills.
Well, Mr. Cuellar, that's what we're trying to talk to you about and explain to you what a plea would look like. But I need you to calm down and listen for a second instead of saying, I don't care.
Why are you so upset?
Yeah.
What's upsetting you? We're not trying to do anything to hurt you here. You know, all we want to do is get you to understand that you're charged with 2 cases. They put you into a program to try to get these things dismissed, and it just didn't work out. So now that you're out of the program, we have to figure out where we're going to go from here. There's only 2 options. You can set the case for trial, or you can plead to the case and be done with it.
I already told you, give me a year.
Why do you want a year?
Why not?
Do you not rather go home?
Nah, same shit. Same shit. I'm gonna just do nothing. I'm gonna do nothing there. I'm gonna do nothing here.
Are you taking any medication, Mr. Cuellar?
Not right now.
Should you be? Mr. Flores Cuellar, should you be taking any medication?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if that's clouding your judgment, you know? And do you have family that you can get a hold of by chance?
Mom is here, Judge. She's stepped outside of the.
Oh, do you want to get her?
Oh, perfect. She's a Spanish speaker.
That's okay. I have someone here. Do you mind helping us out? Thank you so much.
So we have a step on the other side of the attorney coming.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We are at the point where it's time to decide what to do with this case. You've offered him time served, right? I'm sorry?
I already spoke with him. But he doesn't follow the rules.
Correct. So essentially, they've offered him time served on the case, where if he pleads guilty, he's done today and he just goes home with you.
I already told him, the girl already told him.
He wants to do a year. Is there any medication that he's supposed to be taking, man?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is he not taking it?
No, Your Honor.
What is he supposed to be taking?
Él sabe qué es lo que tiene Guillermo. Guillermo, ¿qué es lo que te dijo el doctor que tiene hipnosis?
He knows what I forgot, Your Honor, but he knows what he should be taking. Guillermo, he knows what he should be taking. He knows what the doctor told him.
What do you want, Mr. Flores? Guillermo, what do you want?
Please, first.
I'm sorry?
Please, first.
We have to do something. You can plead the 5th, you can plead the 6th, you can plead the 10th. Don't matter what you plead. We got to do something, you know? This just can't go on. Where do you want to go from here? Do you want to set this thing for trial? Do you want to plead to the case and be done with it and just go home and live your life? Do what you want to do? You tell me. Because if we just do the plea today, you can just walk out of here and you're done. And then you don't come back.
Nah, I'd rather kick it with the inmates, to be honest.
I'm sorry?
I'd rather kick it with the inmates, to be honest.
Didn't hear. What do you say?
You deaf? I'm
He
trying.
said he'd rather kick it with the inmates.
Yeah, he got it.
Judge, I think, I don't think we can reach a plea today.
I agree with you.
I think we have to just come back once he has calmed down and can understand what is going on.
No, I know the reality of things. I'm gonna go to jail, right? Just don't go for it.
No. What I'd like you to do is if you could start taking your medication, Mr. Flores, please. Things will go so much better if you do. While you're on bond, though, I don't want you to consume alcohol or drugs. I'm going to test you.
Nah, I ain't doing that.
He won't listen, Your Honor. He just won't listen. He won't listen.
I don't think I have any choice. You know, I mean, I need you to sign these documents promising us you're not going to use drugs or any kind of alcohol.
Signing the documents.
Okay, so I guess I have no choice. If you're not going to comply by the rules, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'll take you into custody and then we'll have you evaluated while you're in custody. I don't know what else I can do. Will you sign these bond conditions, sir? Okay. So, ma'am, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him evaluated to see what we can do. All I wanted him to do was sign a document promising us he's not going to consume alcohol or dope, and he's not going to. So I'm so sorry with what you're dealing with. I really am. I know it must be so hard. I will try to do my best to help him out, to try to get him on the medication so he can start thinking clearly, because that's what it is. He's not taking what he's supposed to take. And because of it, that's why we are like this. So why don't we put it for Monday? And then we'll come back. We're gonna put it back on for Monday. Do you want to stay on it or do you not?
No, we'll stay on it, Judge. I'll talk to the mom and.
I'll help you out with whatever you need to. I'm sorry, this sucks. But
Will you stay in?
Yeah, but not the one
and then
I was hoping that maybe he would understand what's approaching, but I figured that was.
let's do this. You want to give it an hour?
Yes, Judge.
Let's do that. We have him back there. Let's give it an hour. Perhaps he'll speak to someone else in there, and let's regroup in an hour, and maybe things will change. I don't know.
I truly believe he's into an episode right now, so hopefully that calms him down. It's not me that's trying to judge.
Okay, thanks. Hi, so
Amanda said that was one of the most human judge moments right there. Dang. But don't you remember yesterday? What did he say yesterday? He said, "Oh, you've touched my heart." that was the most humane thing this judge has ever done.
Yeah. Come on. 5,001. Yeah. Just that's the only one I'm touching. I'm not touching anything else. Let's regroup on Monday, and then hopefully that's enough. And then what I'll do is, if he's still in, then let's craft a plan, some kind of treatment plan, where I'll have him do like AAs or NAs, and then I'm going to have him do a bunch of drug testing as well. And, I'm going to admonish him that you ever take something else, you're going to stay with me. I'll sober you up here. And,
good luck with that.
But the concerning thing is also the gun, that sucks. But yeah, we'll get him. We'll one way or the other, we'll get him to see the light. Sorry. Hey, Shreya.
Quick and easy. Haman, jail case, super old. Bond forfeited 2 years ago because he was in Tennessee. From 21.
I see it.
We worked it out. We're just waiting for him to plead on felony MHA, and then we'll dump this.
Okay. Do you know that's going to happen or not?
He says it. So generally when they, and he's already in TDC, so.
All right. You want, I guess, the 30th?
It's like very likely it'll happen. He sent letters saying, let me just sign my concurrent TDC.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Okay.
You said you had 2, right? Two cases or what?
He's got a Galveston TDC that he's serving out right now.
Oh, I thought you had another case to deal with. No, just this. Okay. Gotcha. Did Anna approach you on a motion to restore?
Yes, I told her just to get a copy of the license.
Okay, so we're not ready today.
Not ready today. She said she'll reapproach with a copy of the license and reissue the motion at that point.
Okay.
But the receipt is there. Eventually the license to match it.
Pena. So, mom's here.
Come up, Mr. Pena.
What I'm seeing, there are, in the most recent violations, they were late entries at like 7:38. He does pick up mom from work. Those are the reasons that he.
I thought I saw one for nearly midnight.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. There are a few, there's a couple of leaves at night and they're gone for like 15 or 20 minutes. He's telling me and mom's telling me that he's been at home and they do not know why the GPS is saying that he was.
Because he's been out.
So I promise I haven't been outside at midnight, sir.
No tolerance.
I understand.
And it's telling me that you're out at midnight.
Sir, I promise I haven't been outside at midnight, sir.
I don't believe you, Mr. Pena. I have physical evidence showing me otherwise.
Can you show me what location I was at? Because I promise at midnight I have never left my house, sir. Like, I don't.
Jeremiah, what else did you say was the issue? Was there another?
I'll give you the stop report. So where he was at during the time, where he was at, so 1099-995 Ridgecrest Drive. I believe his address is 17630 Forest Drive.
You're at, where is it?
1099-995 Ridgecrest Drive.
That's where you were.
At what time?
This would have been 2:29 in the morning.
So it goes with you. That's it.
Not a room back there, so.
They're out of
I don't think I've ever taken this many people in.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I don't. I don't know. I'm sorry, Connor. You know, we've had so many issues with Mr. Pena, it's never ending. And he still doesn't get it.
You'll come and talk to you when you want to do that.
I don't know. I'm just gonna set a new bond and we'll go from there. But I'm at the point where I'm done with all the drama with Mr. Pena and I'm gonna just set up a trial. Do you guys, is evidence complete, not complete? What are you missing? It's so old that so new that I doubt you have anything. Yeah.
It looks like we have body worn camera. We need everything else. We need the lab and dash cams.
Are you mom? You can come up.
Yes, Your Honor, we just need we need dash cam in the lab. That's what we're missing right now.
We've had many issues with Mr. Pena. It has all started from October from 2023, well, about August of 23, where he picked up his first gun case. He picked up one gun case, continually violated conditions of bond. Then he picked up a weed case. Then he picked up another gun case, and now he's picked up another gun case. And I told him that because of how many contacts that we've had with him and his refusal to comply with bond conditions, I'm going to really have him stick close with us, and that any violation whatsoever, he will be put back into custody. How long did it take before we had violations? 2 weeks? A week? 2 weeks? And it's a continual thing. So if history is any indication, it's going to continue over and over. And if you're spending your hard-earned money for it, it's just going to get over and over and over. So I'm sorry, but I just don't know how else to get through to him. He refuses to comply with our bond conditions and he refuses to stay out of trouble. So as it stands now, I'm just going to revoke his bond and I'll just put him back into custody. And then if he does somehow get out, we will continue with the bond conditions, but I'll tell you now that I'm up to here with it. So if he gets out and he violates conditions one more time, I will immediately set his case for trial. He's facing a year in jail if he's found guilty on this case. So I've appointed Connor. So if you have any questions, he can help you with that. And then I guess we'll see him back on Monday when he pops back up on the docket. I'm sorry, but there's no getting through to Mr. Pena. So thanks. Okay. 5,001.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey, bud.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Did
Stan-
Mr. Hollis make the change?
Did he make it up? It's yes, he's here, Daniel.
Okay.
Is it Harris or Holland? Holland. Hollis? Hollins.
I spoke to Mr. Kim yesterday, and I think he left some notes to his co-workers.
Very, very detailed notes.
Yeah, Dave's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I looked at his history. He didn't have anything of note other than some speeding tickets and this outstanding warrant. And I guess he had a previous fugitive case out of here.
Same one. He just failed it here again.
Right, right. So.
Sorry, guys. I think I have to start over from the very beginning because I think Fozzie was late. Just kidding. I won't do it again. I did it yesterday.
It's the same charge from 2021. He goes back, does what I guess what he needs to do. He was supposed to show up in December. He failed to show up. He's here. We arrested him, so that's why we have him back there. I've never given him a bond, so that's why I'm willing to do it now. And the only time I'm ever going to do it, and I'll admonish him as such. But did you guys agree to a bond, Daniel?
No, he wanted to make sure he wanted to staff it to this morning, so we did not agree. So I think he wanted to, leave it up to you.
What can he make?
Daniel, what can he make? You know?
I know his sister said that she only has about $3,000 in resources to pay a bond. So
what's he wanted for again?
It was like resisting by fleeing. So.
Okay, Daniel, it's not a violent case. We're not out for blood, so I'll set it pretty low for you, but it's got to be sufficiently high that he makes it back,
Yes, Your Honor.
So, 1,500, 2,000, something like that, whatever you want.
That's fine. What 1,500 or 2,000 is fine, Judge.
Yeah, okay. I did. I didn't. I fixed it, but I didn't delete the other one. I need to delete it.
It may be supposed to the
Were we going to do a plea on Amanda Smith? Amanda Smith?
Amanda Smith? Yeah, we did the plea yesterday.
Oh, I just never signed it for me. Good morning, Mr. Hollins.
Go ahead, if you need to just to kind of brace yourself.
Oh, he was in the accident. Right. Was it a motorcycle? My wife is a nurse. She calls us kidneys on wheels because of the accidents and how dangerous and life-threatening it is. Careful.
Yes, sir.
You now know.
Yes, sir.
Your lawyer is here with you now, so you know Mr. Chisholm is here on Zoom. For some reason, the TVs aren't working.
Yes, sir.
You are wanted out of...
Stir, Wayne County?
Correct. Your lawyers asked for me to set you a bond, and I will. I'm going to set you your bond at $1,500, okay? That's low for what we typically do. Mr. Hollins, I want you to understand this is not going to happen again.
Yes, sir.
You will never get another crack. This is now your second fugitive case with the same charge. If you ever duck and dodge that court over there in Missouri and they issue another fugitive warrant, I'm going to keep you and I will hold you here until Missouri comes and gets you.
Yes, sir.
So you need to go back and take care of business.
Yes, sir. They told me if I had to go down there with 14 days or something like that.
What's going to happen is we give you 2 weeks from the day that you're released to go make it up to Missouri and turn yourself in. If you do that within 2 weeks, this fugitive case against you gets dismissed. If you fail to do that, I will revoke the bond here. I'm going to set it at 0 and I will issue a nationwide warrant for your arrest. I'm going to get you. And this time I will hold you here until Missouri comes and gets you.
I have one question.
Shoot.
Right now, when I first got in the accident Friday and they came to handcuff me, I have a lawyer up there, Mr. Carl Miller.
Okay.
He's working with them right now. And the last time we looked, it was a court date for the May 16th. But do I still have to go in the 14 days? Or
Yes. Yes. No, you have to go now.
Mr. Collins. Mr.
Yes,
Collins, don't ask any more questions, sir.
Yes,
Just
sir.
say thank you for the bond and let's wrap it up. Talk to me when you get out.
Yes, sir.
I don't know, whatever the lawyer's telling you up there, apparently it's no good because a warrant has been issued, right? So take that for what it's worth.
Yes, sir.
I'm
Definitely.
telling you now, if we don't get wind that you've turned yourself in, and it's not enough for you to say, well, I'm gonna go make a bond, this and that. I don't care.
Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir.
You have to go turn yourself in.
Yes, sir. I understand
If you
completely.
do that, good things will happen.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna tell you this again. You're never gonna get another one. If you ever duck out again of Missouri for this charge,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna hold you.
Yes, sir.
Understand?
I understand completely.
Money. All right. So, do you have a reset for him to sign?
I don't have a reason for him to sign.
So let's do that.
Give me copies of it.
Yes.
So that way I will sign one.
We need you to sign a reset. Once you do that, we'll give you a copy. And then, Daniel, is there anything else that you want to talk to him about? We can give you the phone number back so you can call back.
No, I'll talk to, I'm already in communication with his sister. Your bond will be made and everything will be okay. We'll see you later on this afternoon.
Get out soon, but just make sure you make it up there. Okay. Good luck,
Thank
bud.
you, Judge. May I be excused?
Thanks, Daniel. Good to see you, man.
Same to you, man. Talk to you soon, brother.
Okay. 15. Hi, Ms. Chisholm.
Good morning, Judge.
What's up?
I have Miss Mathis.
Okay,
Yes, Judge. She was ordered to get a device, I think, yesterday.
correct.
Somehow she assumed that when she came to court today, they would take her to where she would get her device.
She knows better than that. She just got a DWI with a kid dismissed. She knows better than that.
I think that the assumption, the reason why I agree with the assumption is because she came to court today.
Because she had this is the arraignments, right? She knew within 2 days she had to get a device. She didn't get it, right? And so have you seen the facts?
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm like, okay, if she were really not trying to get a device, she wouldn't have come today. She would have
I'm not not.
We have done it. Pretrial was able to schedule her to go get that device right now. That was her assumption. Your Honor, that was literally her assumption. So we can get that with pretrial right now, and as soon as she leaves.
Here's what I'm gonna do with her though. I'm gonna treat her as one of my Monday, Thursday people. Because she is so just the way she was out there tells me that she has real issues. And because she just got out of a DWI, felony DWI, and now picked this one up, tells me that, I mean, we're lucky that no one was killed in that accident, you know? So she has a true problem and I'm gonna address it as best as I can. So if I will acquiesce to you this time and this only time, I'll let her out, but she will come here every Monday and Thursday to take drug tests. I'm giving her a curfew of 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. On one ankle, she could GPS, the other one is scram.
Darn, does scram test for drugs as well?
No, that's why I'm having her come every Monday and Thursday, because scram only tests for alcohol. So the only way I will ever know if she's taking pills is if she comes here.
Understood.
And because she's got such issues, the only way is to have her come 2 times a week. She's gonna freaking hate us. But that's the point. The more she hates us, the more likely she'll think in the future. So, okay, hey, I'm not gonna take her in. Miss Chisholm, who is it again?
Ms. Mathis?
Mathis. But she'll become another Monday, Thursday person.
And is that a court date or pre-trial?
No, we will physically reset her every Monday and Thursday so that if she blows us off, I can revoke her bond.
And she will test Monday and Thursday?
Every Monday and Thursday. And the first time she ever tests positive, and I'm going to admonish her as such because I'm going to scare her.
Sounds great. I truly appreciate that, Judge.
Let me do this real quick and then I'll bring her up.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hi, Lori.
This is Karen Sepulveda, Castro.
Hi, Ms. Sepulveda.
How you doing?
So, ma'am, you're charged with failure to identify oneself to peace officers as a fugitive. You also have the criminal trespass, just the two, right? They're going to dismiss your trespass in exchange for your plea on the failure to ID. You're facing 3 days in jail with credit for the 18 days that you've done. Understand this is going to go on your record. It'll be there forever. From now on, you'll be facing a minimum of 90 days in jail if you ever pick up another case.
Okay, like another failure to ID? Yes, sir.
90 days minimum if you pick up another case. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this. You
Yes, sir.
understand? How do you plead to the offense, man?
Guilty.
I'll find you guilty. Follow the agreement. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Come on. You were lucky that no one died in that ordeal and that you're not charged with intoxication manslaughter, because then you would be facing up to 20 years in prison, where the deals, when you start making plea bargain agreements, start at 7 to 8 years in TDC. I guess we haven't gotten through with you from the ag rob that you had or the prior felony DWI that we had. I'm now going to do everything in my power to get through to you that we mean business and that we value our streets and want them safe. If that means locking you up, I'm going to do it in a heartbeat. You will now, as part of your conditions of your bond, come to court every Monday and Thursday to take drug tests to prove to us that you're not consuming any kind of pills. On one of your ankles, I will put a GPS monitor so that you're not out in the middle of the night because I'm giving you a curfew. On your other ankle, you will get a scram monitor showing us that you're not consuming alcohol. The one time that you violate, I'm going to put you in jail. I will deem you a public danger and I'm going to make your bond extremely high. You will never get another PR bond. The only reason that you're not going into custody now is because of Ms. Chisholm. Otherwise, I'd be lighting you up.
Thank you, Judge.
The other thing I want you to do is I want you to start going 3 times a week to NA classes. I don't care if it's online. I don't care if it's in person, but you must provide proof that you are attending AA classes with a sheet of paper signed by another individual that you have a sponsor that you're actually attending. If you don't do this, you will go to jail. You understand? One more thing. I know that you want to go.
No.
I'm going to have you sign an affidavit promising me that you're not going to drive. And like I told you, if you drive, That's the absolute worst thing you can do. And I will sprout horns and a tail if you drive, because I will have a contempt hearing. Every time you drive, it's an offense that's punishable by 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. Every time you drive. Do you understand? Thank you. Thanks, Judge.
Thank you, Judge. So he's gonna tell you his conditions. Maybe it's his judge. Maybe it's his judge.
There is more, but not for today. I stopped there because the stream got pretty long as it is. And listen, I have to get ready for court, guys. I have a job to do. Oh, Carolyn, why didn't I yell that? Taser, taser. Oh man, people get really mad at that though. And it just, it makes me giggle every time. I don't know why they get so mad. No one's tasing anybody. Well, sometimes. We can yell it all we want. I mean, if he sprouts horns and a tail, I'm doing a live that second. That second that happens. It's very scary. Patty, I do try to start at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which was well over 2 hours ago. But, you know, sometimes I'm late. I'm working up until the second we start trying to find these videos. You know how many hours a day it takes to find them? All of them. Am I a lawyer, Court 5? Am I a lawyer, Treasure X? It's so funny because everybody in comments say that I'm unintelligent about the law. That's their favorite comment to make. Nope, not a lawyer. Not even a little bit. Although I have ridden in the back of a police car before, so that's good enough. Nope, for me it was 4:45, Kelly. For you it was 3:45. Man, right in the middle of the night. Man, yeah, this was a long one. I know it was a long one, but it was just so good. And I couldn't stop. I wanted to stop and I couldn't stop. But I did. I cut some off. And I don't know how much I cut off, an hour maybe. And I don't know what he does in that hour because I didn't have time to look at it yet. But I'm hoping that it's good stuff because I work a double tomorrow. And courts are closed tomorrow and then Sunday where the judges don't want to work either. You know, if we regular folk have to work Saturdays and Sundays, the courts should too. I know they have some courts open over the weekends, but I don't really do the YouTube. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll look for O'Donnell. We still didn't find that guy. Remember on the 10th, we had that guy that was supposed to go in for his sentencing in front of Judge O'Donnell. Well, I looked through the 10th video over and over and over again, and I didn't have time to do that, and I did, and he wasn't there. He was just not there, and I don't know what happened. Maybe I have to look at some of the other videos, like the 11th or the 12th. Maybe he was there. But I wanted to give you guys the sentencing, but I just didn't see it. Oh, yeah. Nan. If you missed the beginning, that the one guy who got contempt of court yesterday, they explained so much more, and my man deserves it. He deserves what he got. I understand he's fighting for his son and everything, and that is absolutely not how you do it. Not at all. I love Judge Fleischer. He did such a good job today. I hope someone gave him a cookie. And I don't know what he's drinking. Somebody in chat said chocolate milk. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I thought it was one of those coffee drinks. And what stinks is now I want to go buy one because he was drinking it. I'm going to go buy one. Oh, see, and Carolyn, I'm trying to get I'm trying to get her all of that I have for her on my Patreon since I can't put it here. But they are like hours long. Court starts in like an hour, so I don't even have time to get one up because they're hours long. But she's so good. And I have all these recordings of her just sitting on my computer taking space. maybe the ice, maybe I'll just go buy an iced cappuccino today. Why not? Oh, because I'll be at work all day and I can't. I'll be working. I'll be serving beer all day. Poor me. Hi, Wahoo. Beer and wings and pizza. Oh, it's so hard, guys. Yeah, we can do that. Look, Fozzie, I'm going to try. But man, Discord hates me. Apparently my link doesn't work. We would have more people in Discord if I knew how to. It says that it never expires. It says that it never expires. I wish we had a few people who were not in Discord try the link that I have on my YouTube page and then tell me, is this work or does it not work? So if you're watching and you're not in my Discord yet and you have a second of your time, just try to join. You can leave again. It's fine. We don't mind. But just tell me if that stupid link works. Oh no, that reminds me. We have a Sov sit coming. We have a Sov sit coming. What day is he coming? I need to look at my paper. And he's excellent. And nobody has him. Don't worry. I'll look. I won't do it now. But we have a good Sov sit coming in Colorado, I believe. I have to update it every week. Alright, I'll update it now and then put it on my YouTube. Oh, it works. Wait. Steve, because it says it never expires. And now that I think about it, I think the other YouTubers that I see, they don't have to change their link every week. They just have their link. But 2 people just said it worked. So on my YouTube page, there's a Discord link and Patreon link. And those there. No, Kelly. We don't sleep. Oh, Hawaiian pizza. Kelly, put some Thai chili sauce on it. Just a little bit. Hi, Tony. Thank you very much. Thank you, Red. Look, all these people are here. We didn't even know we're here. Guys. Red, you gotta talk more. You just got to. We love reds. We love gingers. I dyed my hair red. It's fake, but, Thank you, Tony. I really, really appreciate that. Okay, thanks, Fozzie. That's good to know. That's good to know. High plausible reliability. Okay, maybe I'll get a Sov sit from Judge Perkins, because I love him, and I used to play a whole lot of him when no one else did. So, I feel like he's mine anyway. And if you have a cat picture, post it. I'm going to have to do a photo shoot of all my animals today. Oh man, I have a lot of animals. I don't know how it happened. I had one dog and one cat. My cat passed away, and I said to my kids, that's it. I'm done. You guys are growing up, and maybe someday, hopefully, you move out, please. And I'm done. And then my niece had this rescue kitty that, oh my, on the verge of death. I got her, almost all of her hair was gone. And she was a pain because she had ringworm and I didn't know it. And do you know it takes like 14 days or whatever for a ringworm to show up after you get ringworm? So by that time, you have plenty of time to pass it around to everybody. And we didn't know the cat had ringworm, so everybody in the whole house was just on creams and potions and lotions for months, including the cat. But not the dog. The dog did okay. But she survived, and then she got pregnant. My fault. I let her outside. And then my niece had more kittens that she didn't have anywhere to go, so they came here. So I have a lot of cats right now because the new cats that came, they got pregnant. Anyway, I got a lot of cats, and I'm keeping all of them. I don't care. I love them. They're my babies. Aww. I have a poodle. I have a poodle, which is part beagle, part poodle. And she's really... Yes. Yes, my niece had kittens. Oh. My poodle is my bestest friend ever. Even though she left me now, she doesn't like me talking too much. And my cat will come up and smack me if I laugh too loud. She doesn't like it. All right, we can chat more in Discord. This stream, this stream is like 2 hours and 40 minutes long already. I think, if that clock is right. Oh man, I remember I used to say 50 minutes. I'm keeping all my streams to 50 minutes long, but there's just so much good stuff. I couldn't do that. All right, guys, I'm gonna stop. I hope you guys have a great day. And, I work a double today, so I don't know, but maybe I'll get the rest of that Judge Fleischer clip on today or tomorrow. Oh, and I do have, I always have more after I say goodnight. I am going to do an 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live stream sometime this week instead of the 4:30 one, because there's some people who they want to see my stream, but they cannot because of the ungodly hour that I do it. So I told them that this week I will do that. I'll do an 8 o'clock stream. I might do one of those like every week just for them. I'm not leaving you guys. I will never, ever, ever leave you guys. But they're people too. Other day shift people are lives matter too, I guess. Even though midnight shift is the best. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Have a good day. Please be good. Don't go to jail. Don't ride in the back of a police car. Don't do it, okay? I know I make it look glamorous. But don't